Good morning.
Do you know what I notice most about you when we sit here?
No. Oh, no. Okay. What?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Ready.
When we sit here and then you look at me and you want me to get ready and be alert and pay attention,
Yes. What?
gotta pluck your ears.
Oh, no. Like, why do you point that out on camera? Like, what's the point of that?
I'm just kidding.
No.
Your handsome gray beard. I was watching a video last night for the LifeLab class.
Does anybody wax?
Your beard was so dark. When did you
It was so
record those
handsome.
videos?
I don't know. It's not even that long ago.
Like 4 years ago,
That's how
I
much
think.
you have aged me.
Your beard.
You've aged me. My beard's growing
And
gray.
your beard is
my
gray.
ears are getting hairy. Like, what are you doing to me?
Good morning.
If you had to pick a sport to play, what if we had to pick up a sport, what would you pick up?
Do we have to do it together?
Yeah, like it would be a
no.
hobby.
Oh,
Like it would be like not a hobby, but a activity that we could do together.
Is lawn darts an actual?
I'm not sure,
Well, it's a hobby. You said hobby.
but a sport.
You said hobby.
You know, I think
puzzling.
I think
I would choose
darts.
puzzling.
No, I can't do that. That's a dumb sport. No, how about like darts is a sport? Is pinball a sport? You like pinball?
Yeah, that was fun.
No, it's stressful. What other sport
Darts
is there?
would be fun.
You like if you had to watch one on TV, what would you
I don't
watch?
like watching anything on TV.
How about figure skating?
I would go.
When I first met you, you and your mom were like avid figure skating watchers and commentators. And I just remember out of all of the 30 years that we've lived together, I think that was probably the most annoying I've ever been. Annoyed of like you and your mom and your aunt like commentating on figure skating. Kurt Browning. What are the other guys? The guy and the woman that were like they were. Oh my goodness! Yeah, figure skating.
Still bothered by that, eh? Do you need to do a resentment sheet?
I gotta do something about it.
Do you do is it
Maybe.
a resentment sheet?
No, it's just fun.
Or is it a principle?
I don't know what it is. I'm over, gone. But if
Which
you
is
had
so funny because I never figure skated in my life.
no, but you guys like I don't think it was you necessarily, but you definitely got onto it, and it was like everybody had to stop. Like it's like when my dad was watching, it was like and it's like the figure skating. It's the Olympics, but there's a circuit of figure skating too, so it was on often enough.
Yeah.
If I had to do a sport because I'm not in shape for sport, but if I had to pick one.
What are you in shape for?
Pinball.
Me too.
I'd be in shape for squash. I enjoy squash.
Yes, you do.
And squash is an interesting game of athleticism, start and stop. Like it's a high aerobic sport. But what I found is that there are very few classes of squash levels.
So
like either I can destroy you or I can't even come close to you. Like there's no one in the middle of like
you either get it or you don't.
Yeah. Like it's a weird sport that way.
So I find it interesting that you asked me a sport or hobby, which are very different, of things that we could do together if we had to pick.
Activity.
And then you chose squash, which we all know is the one thing that would not be fun. I once told you that there was a guy you were playing squash with that you should probably let him win.
Mm-hmm. I told him that.
And you were like...
And he said, if you ever let me win, I will quit.
I was like, how could somebody go on a regular basis and just lose every single time? That would not be fun for me. I would not play with you.
I think he ended up winning a game.
I would not play with you.
But you gotta play. What's an activity that we could do that's kind of athletic? I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's winter.
We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. All right, here we go on our reading, our daily meditation. Thank you for joining us. The thought of the day, I am less sensitive. Well, that's a good way to start a statement. Eh? Are you?
Are you?
I don't know.
Were you ever sensitive?
I think so. I can be. Like, what do you mean by that? Like sensitive, like we're watching a movie and I might shed a tear.
You
for sure.
Or cry like a baby.
Yeah, I've done that. Heaven is for real. Like if you go to the movie theater and don't come out red faced, it's like
you asked me what was wrong with me because I didn't cry at a movie. That was so cheesy.
Okay, here we go. I don't think that's what we're talking about.
Sniffling.
I'm pretty sure that's not what we're talking about.
Okay, what are we talking
about? I am less sensitive and my feelings are less easily hurt. This is what we're talking about. When you get laughed at for not crying, it doesn't hurt you. I no longer take myself so seriously. It didn't used to take much to insult me, to feel that I would have been slighted or left on the outside. What happens to me now is not so important. One cause of our drinking was because we couldn't take it. So we escaped the unpleasant situation, or we created situations that we needed to escape from. We have learned to take it on the chin if necessary and smile. Great. A man that is wrapped up in the fellowship and in the arms of God will not notice the personal slights so much. They do not seem to matter so much. It's an identity thing. I have learned to laugh at self-pity because it's so childish. Question: am I less sensitive? Meditation for the day. God's miracle working power is as manifested today as it was in the past. It still works miracles of change in lives and miracles of healing in twisted minds. Whenever a man trusts wholly in God and leaves to him the choosing of the day and hour, there is God's miracle working power suddenly become manifest in that man's life or woman, so we can trust in God and have boundless faith in him, his power to make us whole again whenever he chooses. Woo! You know what I thought of?
What did you think of?
You went to a conference or found a speaker meeting thing, and it was all about this lady's offense. She had like this fence, and it used to be very wide. Like it used to have a lot of space in it, and when anybody touched it, she became offended. Like her fence was so broad that everything offended her. It was her like an offense. Fence. And I thought of that when we were reading it, and I think we've all been like that. Is like, how easily can I offend you? And it's like I don't think I've ever woke up in 30 years going, I am going to offend her. Like I'm going to get her. I have hidden behind doorways for a minute or 10 to scare you. Like I have gone out of my way to do that, but I have never woken up going like, I'm going to offend that woman something fierce today. Like it's just gonna, like I'm going to like left, right, uppercut. Like I am just going to barrage her with offenses.
And yet
you become offended. And I've never thought of that, because when my partner is offended, it's not a great space to be in. And so how do we take down our fences?
So there's a little bit of a dynamic that can happen though, is there's a particular sensitivity person that people start to just kind of sort of tiptoe around, walk on eggshells. And I think as a particularly sensitive type person in the past,
like 10 minutes.
It's not a good feeling when you realize, oh, people are tiptoeing around me. Like people are walking on eggshells around me because they're worried about how I'm going to react. And so there's like this reactiveness inside of me that I just like couldn't control, when I think that's the childish part.
And but there's a tension around it because and I look at like like I would say that you're the weakest food person in our relationship, and it's like I have to pretty much go where you want to go because I'm a broad spectrum of food. And so is it like that in certain relationships? It's like you really have to be careful what you say to somebody or how you present it, and it's like you're always being guarded because their offense is so big.
The sensitive person, it was interesting for me to realize that actually I had a choice, that actually I could choose to believe in the goodwill of the people that I have in my life, and that they're not actually trying to hurt my feelings.
If somebody's being offended all the time, then it's really an identity issue. And once we start being offended and complaining and the world is against us, doesn't the world really come against us? Because the world is against us.
Well,
really.
Because I'm being a sucky baby, and I'm super annoying to the world around me.
And like it's just like that person's draining them, and then it's like, so I believe that God can remove fences, that God can come and change your territory and change your whole identity, and that's the beautiful thing that we don't get to really work on. We get to be a partner of, and so the prayer of the day. I pray that I may feel sure that there is nothing that God cannot accomplish in changing in my life. I pray that I may have faith in his miracle working power. And there are people right now that's what they need to hear, that only God has miracle working power that can change the trajectory and the circumstances of what is throwing you around all day long. What is throwing you? It's all the outside cues. It's the things that are clapping their hands at you, pointing their fingers at you, and you take it personally and seriously, and every day you're just exhausted from it. So we believe in a miracle working God that can actually take down these fences and give you peace and serenity no matter what the world throws at you.
And that would be part of working through the LifeLab process.
Woo! Do it now.
Put that little plug in.
All right. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior. And we will hopefully see you tomorrow.